Hello, this is my entry for the San Jose Public Library Book Review Contest. So the book I read was called 1001 Nights of Snowfall. The author is Bill Willingham, and the book was published by DC Comics. There are 11 artists for the book, and 11 short stories in the form of comics, including the main plotline. This book comes from the comic book series Fables. Fables is a different take on traditional fables and fairy tales. All the characters within the series come from various fables and fairy tales, but characters from one fairy tale can interact with characters from another. The main plot line of 1001 Nights of Snowfall is that Snow White has traveled to the Arabian Fable Worlds to warn the Sultan about the war that has destroyed the European Fable Worlds. But in doing so, she herself becomes trapped by the Sultan in his kingdom. Snow White discovers that the Sultan has been marrying and killing one virgin from his kingdom every day. If Snow White doesn't do something, then she will be the next to die. In an attempt to prolong her death sentence, she tells the Sultan a story that night. The Sultan enjoys the story so much that he allowed her to live so that he may tell her, so that she may tell him another story the next night. Snow White tells him a new story every night for 1001 nights. In this book, there are stories about different European fairy tale creatures and people, such as the Big Bad Wolf, Snow White, Rose Red, and the Frog Prince. I enjoyed the stories. I would rate the stories themselves 4 out of 5 stars. However, since I've only read a few books from the Fables series, it was confusing to understand how these characters relate to one another. I would recommend reading some of the other Fables books either before or after reading this prequel to the series. I like the idea for the series. When you think about fables or fairy tales, you think of them as being only children's stories. 1001 Nights of Snowfall and other books in the Fable series change your preconceptions about fairy tales by making them into mature, adult stories. In general, it's a good book. The stories have a somewhat darker feel to them, but I wouldn't call it gothic. It's a bit gritty, but I think that's what the author, Bill Willingham, wants. He wants his readers to see the characters in the book as real, feeling beings, not just shallow, brainless princesses and animals. Not all the creatures in the stories are human, but they feel human, and that's what I like best about this book. 1001 Nights of Snowfall is for a mature audience. It does contain some nudity and mature themes, so I cannot flip through the book freely. I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars in terms of artwork. It's in full color. I marked some of the pages so that I'd be able to show them to the video. So here are some samples of the artwork. So every artist has his or her own individual style, which is something I also like about this book. So again, the book is called 1001 Nights of Snowfall by Bill Willingham. It's available at your local San Jose Public Library. So I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I did.